Welcome back to another episode of Hailing Frequencies Open, where sometimes each week, we sit down and discuss the things that you discuss on episodes of reviews of things that we discussed.
They're hailing us. Hailing frequencies open.
Captain, we're receiving 285,000 hails.
I wish I knew what to tell them.
We weren't here last week. We had some family stuff going on. But we are here this week, and we're going to combine the past 2 weeks together. So that'll be fun, won't it, Will?
That'll be really fun.
Really fun. I'm looking at my Google Doc here. Looks like we have 18 pages to get through. So
Yep.
that is excellent. Excellent. Thank you, everybody. We're going to go all the way back, Will, to remember this episode of The Duffin?
Oh, I certainly do.
Oh, yeah. I know that one. Know it well. So the first comment here is from Captain Olimar. He says, The X-Files is a show I haven't seen a lot of myself. The opening used to scare me as a kid. It looks like an awesome show, though. Will is right to point out the nightmare that is the streaming landscape. Cable with extra steps. Yippee. That's funny. Yeah, The X-Files is great. I don't know if it holds up these days, but it was a fun show.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time.
I remember there being episodes that were scarier than others. So that's the thing. Fox Mulder is a great character in any media. I mean, he's like a FBI detective that like believes in all that stuff, and his sister was abducted.
Right.
And his partner is she's pretty good. I mean, I like her as a character. It's just that her character is supposed to be like no nonsense. Everything can be explained scientifically.
Right.
And then as the show goes on and on and on and on and all this stuff that she sees, she's still like, nope, science. And you're like, yeah, but last week though, it wasn't science. It's like, yeah, but science, because aliens and creatures don't exist. Like, yeah, but you work for the special department of the FBI where you investigate weird creatures and aliens. All science. He says, all right, smart guys, if you don't like me pooping on Malcolm, you must now rank the Scotty B Enterprise crew. Thanks as always, guys. Scotty B. Rank them?
Yeah. So Malcolm is number 1.
Malcolm 1.
Travis 2.
Travis 2. Hoshi 3.
Yeah.
Flox's assistant 4.
Yeah.
It's funny that we have a trophy based on her, and I still can't remember her name on the
Elizabeth
show.
Cutler.
That's it. Cutler.
That's it.
She's 4.
Flox is 5.
Flox is 5, easily.
Yeah. T'Pol is 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trip is 7. And coming just barely at the bottom is Archer. Yeah.
Yeah. Porthos, Archer.
Archer, yeah. Well, no. Archer, Porthos.
Oh, yeah, right. We're doing the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, honestly, if we're really gonna do this, it's this is hard. Archer, Trip,
Okay.
Malcolm, T'Pol, Flox. There you go.
Hoshi's
at the bottom. Travis and Hoshi are like linked to me. And then Porthos is with Archer. So
yeah, got it.
So they're a duel. So there you go.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Captain, engineer, security officer, top 3.
I think for me, I would do the Trip is like my favorite Star Trek character of like all time.
Of all time, yeah. Easily.
But I guess it would be very similar. I think I would put Phlox where you put Malcolm.
Mm,
And I think I would put Hoshi above Travis. I don't think
okay.
they would share the same spot for me, but I think the
Mm,
same ranking would be the same for you and I. Like I
yeah.
think it would be like Archer, Trip, Fox, Malcolm to Paul, Hoshi, Travis.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard to do that because like they're all good in their own
Yeah,
aspect.
yeah,
I just always enjoy the episodes where Trip Archer and Malcolm are like doing things together.
yeah.
You know, like those are always the
Hmm.
best. And I think Malcolm is so high up for me because of the episode where him and Trip are in the shuttle pod. I think
Sure,
for
sure.
me, probably one of the best episodes of Star Trek ever, in my
Yeah,
opinion. And they do this really weird thing where you get to like learn about the characters, you know.
I agree.
So
I agree very much.
so that's weird, you know. Why would you tell things about characters? Why would you want the audience to know what they do?
No, stupid.
It's stupid. Yeah, so there you go. There's our Scotty B Enterprise ranked. So that's the definitive answer, and there can be no substitutions. All right, so the next comment here is from my office. He says, Will sounds like he's podcasting from a secure, undisclosed location this week. I hope whoever is after you doesn't find you, my friend.
No, so we have this really cool, great thing where our main computer office is in our bedroom, and my wife sometimes wants to keep on sleeping.
Yeah.
So
Stupid.
I don't turn lights on.
I think sometimes too you use your mic and your headset is a little different.
Oh yeah, when I do that, yeah, it's terrible.
It's good.
But that's usually when I'm in the living room.
Hmm. All right, he says, odd continuity catch. The ship is the USS Yamato NCC 71807, but it's not the E version from Nagilam's Void in season one.
Yeah, so this is a comment on our review of Contagion. So he's talking about when the Yamato shows
Oh,
up and it blows up. Yeah,
I didn't see that. Sorry.
that's it. So when they
Interesting.
see the fake Yamato in the void, Nagilam's void, this is the registry number they give it. But then when you see it in
Um,
this episode, it's like it's not that. So
well, I forgot that that was even like the same ship. That's funny.
that's
Well,
what
of
makes
course it doesn't match. Nagila made it up,
that's
dude.
right.
I'm just a floating head. A lot
That'd
of
be true.
floating heads in Star Trek.
That's my favorite. Well, it's probably there's your second favorite. Your most favorite is Balls of Light.
Well, yeah, that's obvious. He says computer issues on the Yamato have them stuck in the neutral zone. They have potentially found the Iconian homeworld. The ship is so excited it can't contain itself. Core breach on the Yamato. The effects here were pretty cool. My first thought was how terrible that so many died. There were families on board that ship. How does Starfleet feel it's an okay policy to allow families and civilians to travel on board?
It is one of the most disagreeable things I've thought about with the show. It's like I get it. I get it. It's fun to have like a giant neighborhood on your ship so that you could just like do anything you want on the ship. Like
Hmm.
little kids get trapped in the turbo lift. Isn't that funny?
It is funny.
And then I don't know, weird things can happen and it's more of like a community family thing. But at the same time, it's like stuff like this happens and then it's just like children are like hundreds of children.
Blithering.
Yeah. And you're like, you're
Yeah.
right.
Huh. Yeah. And I think it goes back to my issue with the separation of the ship. Like it's
Mm.
a stupid feature to build into a ship, and the only reason it's there is because you have civilians on board. And again, why do you have civilians on board? So So it's like this recurring like circle of like, like why is it there? Why does it do that? Why are there people on ship? Why does it matter? Why do you have to have this built in? So
Yes.
yeah, I know. And the thing is like if it's like, well, the parents are Starfleet members, they do stuff on the ship, but we allow them to have their families. You're like, well, that's cool. But it doesn't feel like that all the time. It feels like there's legitimately just civilians that just like live and teach and do things on the ship that aren't Starfleet members.
Right.
And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Just for fun.
Just for kicks and giggles. And then it's like, well, then the whole point of the ship is like they travel the galaxy to explore and find new things and meet new alien species and it negotiate hostile war planets.
Yeah.
So nothing bad could happen to the
Not
people,
nothing
the
at all.
civilians.
We're gonna
It's
get
weird.
really we're gonna get really close to this star or this black hole.
We've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah. We're gonna have these random people
Oh,
come on and work on the engines while there's just hundreds and hundreds of civilians on board.
yeah. It's just Picard making an announcement to the whole ship. Like, well, everybody, if you look out your port side window, you'll see this new nebula we've never discovered before as humans. We lost power.
Oh, there's a
Nebula
giant
seems to be some sort of electrical sucking magnet. So,
there's a giant purple mouth coming out of the nebula, so brace for impact.
yeah, it took our power, and it was a pleasure serving with you all. It's like, okay, dude. Yeah, I get that point. Yeah, why? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting. Interesting. After unmuting the comms, did you know that there is some black cloth or something over the engineering station?
So
No.
the answer is
The
no,
answer is
but
no.
if I am correct in thinking what he is talking about, he discovered one of the production like set things that they did during the 80s where they
Mm.
put like little black felt squares on things so that the set lights don't reflect on the glass panels,
Oh, that makes sense.
right? But
Yeah.
on a 80s, 90s television
Oh, you
screen,
never see
you
it.
would
It'd be all
never see it.
pixel.
But now that everything is like 4K remastered, they're very, very clear now when if you look for them. If you look for them, you
That's
will
fine.
100% find them. So I'm
He,
assuming that's what he saw.
I think he watches these episodes too in depth. I think you gotta just enjoy what it
He
is.
watches them on point 25.
Yeah, he's always finding stuff, That one week he's like, "Hey, did you see Jordy's badge was crooked?" No, I didn't.
It's because he's watched
I
this
was
episode 25 times. He's got to
I
find
was
something
paying
else.
attention to why Deanna was sad. Okay, I wasn't looking at Jordy's com badge. I was gonna start saying yes. Yes, I did notice that. Thank you. It was so insignificant. We didn't even mention it on the podcast. um, are the Iconians a myth? No. Appearing out of thin air on planets, no need for ships. It's cool to have them brought back into Star Trek lore, though I don't see this episode does much to advance their history.
Which, yeah, it's yeah, true.
Yeah. Now, which one are they're not the ones that Pike goes with? No.
No, we never see the Iconians.
No, okay.
Those are
Those are
Telosians.
Telojans. I have one on my shelf. Big headed dummy.
Yep.
Love them. Love them dearly. If there was a fire in my house, that would be the only thing I'd grab.
Yep.
Uh,
So you go back to the things that he
yeah.
said, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just stored. Yeah. I don't remember dates or important things.
No.
Everything from my office says right here,
Right,
right here,
locked
right in
right
there.
in.
It's great that the archaeology of Picard's hobby is brought to light. I also liked Wesley wondering how senior staff handles the thought of so many dying. For a young man, that must be difficult to take. These character building moments are nice to see. Then the famous line, tea, Earl Grey, hot, or a plant. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've we have not seen him say tea, Earl Grey, hot, and then drink it.
true. He
He's
might have
either you
drank the
come in the
water
room
from the
and he's
plant.
drinking. Yeah. Well, hmm. Is that the actual tea plant that like the leaves come from? Is that what that was supposed to be?
Oh, maybe. Wow. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. There's a little food for thought.
Yeah. I like with his earlier comment about the character building, like, I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
disagree with him, but it's one of those things that I feel like Wesley's character was having nice character building moments, and I felt like Picard kind of was just like, yeah, it's just what happens. And you're
Hmm.
like, okay,
Yeah, we don't enjoy it, Wesley, but what are you gonna do?
yeah, like, oh, okay,
Yeah. I like the fact that you told me that like Picard's archaeology thing like goes forward, which is cool.
yeah, yes, oh yeah.
Because if it was just this episode, it'd be like, what?
No, he's
It's
super
like,
into.
oh, he really likes archaeology, and then you never.
No, they have. There's several episodes where it's like he's heavily involved and stuff.
Well, it's good because so far with Picard's character feels like they just kind of like bomb
Hmm.
drop things in an episode. You
Yeah,
know, it's like you don't know anything about Picard, and it's like, oh yeah, he had a girlfriend. He walked away on to join Starfleet. You're like, okay.
yeah. They
Oh,
still
he
will.
had a relationship with this lawyer. Okay.
They still will do that, but yeah, they do call back to a lot of other things.
You know another fun thing about Picard? He likes looking at dinosaur bones. Oh, okay. That's interesting. You know, maybe if his office was set up that way where he had like, you know, fossils and that kind of stuff on the wall and not just a fish tank and
Yeah.
a desk thing. Yeah. You know, that would be interesting. He says office chairs still exist in the future. I guess they must be the perfect design if we haven't advanced in that area in 300 years. Yeah, that's true. But don't capture that probe. Crazy turbo lift. Great stunts by Jordy, even though they did look a little silly.
I will admit that him smushing his cheek up against the wall and going like, that wasn't amazing,
Yeah.
but him getting thrashed into the ceiling was pretty great.
But here's the thing, right? You show up for work that day and they're like, "All right, so today what you're gonna do is you're gonna throw yourself all around this turbo lift and make it look like gravity is just crazy in there." And then you're just in a stationary like set
Right, and then you
and
have to
and there's
like,
40 people standing there watching you and you're just like, "All right." You know, like that's
yeah,
fun. That'd be real fun.
yeah. When we build our own Star Trek set, you'll see.
Yes. Star Trek set is in the works. You want to see more great things like from my office waking up and talking to from my office? Stay tuned, buddy, because
What we're gonna do is we're gonna build one thing from each Star Trek show,
oh no,
so that
that's
so that we
yeah.
can film.
Each
We'll have a
Star Trek.
multiverse ship where it's like the TOS bridge, and then it's like an Enterprise turbo lift, and then it's
Yeah.
like Next Generation Engineering, Strange New
I don't
Worlds, Med Bay.
I don't want to make anybody too excited, but we are working on
Uh-oh.
Enterprise season 5. So
Wow.
I'm just like we just like change costumes, you know. Like I'm Trip. I like pan-seared catfish. Well, that's crazy, Captain.
Oh wow. The
And you,
Xindi are back, and they've shot and they've
oh
killed
no,
Greenland to Maine.
yeah. Okay. He says Iconian probe. Uh-oh. And then you really this is serious. You want me to read this?
No, but I can read it because he knew that
Yeah.
I'm a nerd.
Oh, so he
You know he did.
legitimately did.
Yes, you know he did.
Oh, that makes me sick, kind of. zero one zero one one zero zero one zero one one zero one 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 zero one 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 zero one zero one zero zero one zero 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 one one zero one zero 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 one one zero 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 one.
It's now 11 minutes of you.
I mean, it looked kind of like a joke at first, but then as soon as you said that, I was like, "Oh yeah, that does look like he did an entire thing." And
So, what it says is, you have been infected by the Iconians.
oh,
Enjoy our new OS. Have a lovely day.
that's funny. That's very short for how many zeros there are.
Yes.
Nice.
He knew it. He knew I would.
Uh,
I immediately got that, saw that, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to put this into the binary.
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 We're gonna take your ship. We want to go home. We couldn't possibly ask. Great. Pulaski is teaching the nurse how to make a split. How does this doctor not know what a split is? Totally agree with you guys that this was really stupid. Yeah,
Yeah, it was very
it was
stupid.
really stupid. Poor Jordy. He's been tossed around a lot this episode. Oh, that's a good one. Oh well. Away team time. Riker doesn't want Picard to go. Too bad, number one. Again, I agree with you here. Wouldn't they be worried about taking the transporter with all the crazy stuff happening on the ship? What if they had rematerialized on the planet as some bald android Klingon creature? Dacardorf or something. That's funny. Wow.
Dacardorf.
Dacardorf, yeah. Data Picard. Worf, yeah.
So there is this thing that I have
That's
been
really funny.
rolling around in the back of my mind of doing after we finish Next Generation, and it is Mike McMahon's, or it's one of the writers. Well, it's actually the creator of of Lower Decks. Before he was the
Mm,
creator of Lower Decks, he wrote the never aired season 8 of the Next Generation,
mm.
and it's just comedy filled nonsense, but it's hilarious if you love Next Generation.
Wow.
And this happens. He writes a story where they beam and they become a giant like conglomeration of people,
That's
and
awesome.
it's very good. So,
Yeah. What's the what's the guy that always did like the body horror movies and stuff? The Cronenberg.
oh, wow.
There you
Like the
go.
fly.
Cronenberg. It's yeah, he did like The Fly, but he also did other like weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I would love a Star Trek Cronenberg fiction episode. That would be excellent. Our
Oh wait,
bodies and minds are one.
he'd have the strength of an android, the wisdom of Picard, and then he
We
would
are
just be.
now Dacardorf. Oh, baby. That's good. Well, that's really good. I like that.
Obey me.
Thanks. Thanks for that nightmare fuel.
We'll have an artist's illustration right here to the side.
Yeah, I wish we had one.
Oh wow.
Down on Iconia, in a control room of some sort, it's cool to see Data become dual lingo. On the ship, Deanna is jumpy because she can finally sense things this week, considering evacuation of the Enterprise. I was so hoping they would have mentioned saucer separation just for Caleb. Yeah, that would have been nice. Alas, we didn't get it. Last mention was 10 episodes ago. Yeah, and it
He's
feels
keeping
like
he's keeping
two.
track.
Yeah, so 10 episodes ago would have been like the third or fourth episode of season two. Yeah.
I like that he's keeping track of all of this.
Well, it's just yeah, yeah. Oh, we'll see it again. I know we'll see it again.
Well, maybe I'm not sure.
They can't not. They already have the model. They already have all the filming rigs. You gotta use it.
No, there's no way that they would ever do that again.
No, that'd be stupid. The gateway has been opened. Looks like the Iconians were not conquerors after all. They were explorers. And it would have been cool to learn even more about the Iconians. They're this big mystery in the galaxy. Too bad.
I
That
was
is too
just
bad.
I was just thinking, they're like, oh wow, yeah, like well that explains why they just appeared out of thin air and they just like, yeah, of course everybody would think that they were trying to kill everybody. And it's like, what what if they still were? Like what if they were like, oh wow, we could just
What if, yeah,
we
what
could
if they just went through a tele thing into like a new planet and that's where they live now?
they were like, no, we
They could
live
live anywhere. Why would they stay here?
here. Right.
Every time I hear the word Iconians, I think Argonians,
Mm.
but
They're the same thing.
they should be giant lizard people. It's always giant lizard people.
Technically, we don't have any idea what the Iconians looked like, so
Good. Giant lizard people. Data shocked and damaged. I hope you have a warranty on him. Time to head back to the Enterprise with Data and then launch the probes with doors closed. I thought the line about the colored buttons and hoping Data wasn't stuttering was funny.
yeah, it was good. Blue, blue, blue.
Blue. Data is dead or not. He was rebooted. That was interesting to hear in trivia about the whole reboot thing. What would they have done if Data came back with a blue screen of death?
Just blue eyes. That was good.
No. I don't mind the reboot solution myself. As an IT professional, I'm often telling people to reboot their stuff. So it was okay with me. Yeah. Have
Yeah,
you
it's
tried unplugging and plugging it back in?
right, right.
Because we're in the 21st century and that's how technology still works. Well,
It's
just
it's
turn it off and turn it back on and it
it's
fixes itself
hilarious
some.
that like that's just what it is. Like nothing like your
Mhm.
car, right? It's like, hey, but my car is making this. Have you tried turning it off, turning it back on? Like, yes, I have, and it's
It's worse every
worse.
time. It's worse.
It's like for some reason these like crazy advanced things, they're just like, just turn it off. Just turn it off. Leave it off, but leave it off for 30 seconds and then
Yeah.
plug it back
And then
in.
plug it back in. It was always fun as like, a younger person explaining to like your parents. And they'd be like, I don't understand why this can't just like work. And you're like, yeah, well, sometimes the Wi-Fi gets bogged down and you have to reboot the
Yeah,
router. I don't know. I don't know why it's like that. That's just how it is.
right.
Question for you guys. If you could set up a two-way portal to anywhere on the Earth, where would it be?
To your
My
office.
bedroom? My refrigerator? To your refrigerator.
I would slowly take all of his starships and just make them mine.
How long would it take him to notice?
Half an
Pretty,
hour.
yeah, pretty quickly.
I don't know. And for a real answer, I probably so it has to be permanent. I couldn't have it be like a transporter. It has to be like a permanent location.
Yeah.
I think it would be somewhere in Europe. I think it would be somewhere like Greece or Italy or something. Like if I wanted to go see something over there, like
Yeah.
it had to be something that I would want to walk around at. Like it couldn't just be like the transporter thing issue. It'd have to be something that like I walk into this portal and now I'm walking around over there.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would just pick a location that like made sense for like if people were referencing something, they would be like, well, this is where this event happened or this battle happened. I would be like, well, that's where I would like to physically go to that location
Wow.
and like
Now I'm
walk
at the
around.
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Exactly.
I thought there'd be more pizza. Um,
Way more
I don't
pizza.
know. So I was thinking like New Zealand would be cool,
That's cool.
but I'd make it more practical. It would be like some tropical beach that's uninhabited that you could just like leave from your kitchen with your cooler and just
Yeah, it
be
makes
at the beach. Right by the beach.
But the funny thing is like he gives us the option of it being a two-way thing, but it kind of seems like for the Iconians it was maybe one way because like
Yeah,
Picard
that's what he
doesn't.
does. He neuters us. He gives us these questions that are, hey, so you know how the Iconians could go anywhere? What if you could only go one place? Then
Yeah,
what's your answer?
that's our
Yeah.
question for you.
Yeah.
If you had a one-way portal, what would you pick?
Yeah. If you had a one-way portal and it broke when you went through, where would you want it to be?
Exactly. Exactly. And you can't say your living room.
Yeah. 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 That's a fake answer. We're not going to accept it. He says, for me, I would also give a Roddenberry for this episode. It was just okay in my opinion. Great job on the review, though. I give you guys multiple generations of Akutas.
Wow.
Popcorn Award is LeVar Burton. He earned it with all that being tossed around.
Excellent.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
So, for Contagion, Ed Markstar suggested Brett Spiner as Data, Rox as a program damaged android needing a shutdown reboot. Give Brett Spiner some popcorn. That's what he said. And then Captain Olimar
Nobody.
suggested Patrick Stewart.
Well,
You got Brett Spiner, LeVar Burton, and Patrick Stewart as suggestions for the Popcorn Award. So,
that's pretty
Caleb,
good.
who does get the Popcorn Award for Contagion?
I feel like I agree with all of them, but I also feel like I always can give it to Brett Spiner.
Mm.
Like week to week, it could just always be. Well, he did a great job playing a robot this week. Isn't that crazy? Like every week, he's great.
Yeah,
Um, Patrick Stewart is good, but I don't think I've given it to Jordy yet. So I would like to give it to Jordy this week
excellent. Excellent.
because I did like the turbo lift scene.
And like you said, we know that he had to like make it believable, right? The
Yeah.
whole getting thrashed, like
Oh
that
yeah.
that wasn't anything was happening. He's
I
the one.
couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't do it any better. So we're starting off here with the Daystrom review. He says, "Trouble on Theta 116. A mysterious corpse is found." That would have been a
Sure.
better title. If it was like a Dragon Ball Z episode, it would be called "The Away Team Make It
Yeah.
Home."
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It would be called Riker Worf and Data are the foreign investors.
Riker buys a hotel.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. Very good. All right, so the next comment here is from Gana Buddhis. Right? That seems right.
Sure.
Gana
Gan-
Buddhis.
Ganabutis. I don't know.
It's a cool picture with Daffy Duck in his Hawaiian shirt. That's cool.
I was thinking the really funny thing is too is I think in on YouTube instead of it giving that his name is R. William Stitt. Much
Hmm.
easier saying to read.
Hmm.
Like that's his like username is
That's weird.
Ganabutis.
Ganabutis. He says, "Thanks for covering the Royale. I know this episode is considered pretty bad by a lot of Trek fans, but it is one of my TNG guilty pleasures. And FYI, as an Irishman, Meanie's first name is pronounced Call. Cheers.
Nice.
Calamini.
Calamine.
Calamini. Yeah.
That's it's funny because like when we were reviewing that episode, that's kind of generally how I thought was most people really don't like the Royale. And
Yeah.
so it was nice that you were like, no, I enjoyed it. So clearly you
Thought it was
having
fun.
like you enjoying it helped other viewers who don't normally comment,
Yeah.
say something. So that was cool.
Help this guy finally come out and confess to the world that he enjoys the Royale. I've been keeping it inside for so long. I like the Royale, okay? It's a good episode. It's fun. Data gets to gamble.
I love gambling.
I love gambling. Yeah, I think it's a fun episode.
Yeah. I totally see why you
Despite
like it,
its
and that's great. Yeah.
despite its many, many flaws.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one here is from my office. So buckle in, batten the hatches, brace the rigging, secure the mooring.
Man overboard.
All right, he says, "Welcome to Beta 116 Solar System, an unmapped area of space. Here you'll find a very inhospitable planet. But if you're looking to stay, try our one-star resort, the Royale. Each day will feel just the same as you play our blackjack and craps table. Enjoy bed so comfortable you'll sleep like someone who's been dead for 280 years. When you're looking for a service that won't make you scowl, head on down to the Hotel Royale." Good.
Royale.
Royale.
Scowl.
If they don't want to make you scowl, head down to the Hotel Royale.
Royale.
It's a stretch.
It is. And he
Picard is
likes it.
studying. Yeah, he loves it. Picard is studying a math problem. Off to an exciting start.
Oh yeah.
Suddenly, debris is found in orbit, a mid 21st century NASA ship. With Picard's fascination with archaeology, I could see this getting him more excited. I wish they had explained that aspect of things a bit more.
Explored, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like
Yeah, because like just last week they were like, "Hey, so Picard loves archaeology." Like, oh, okay, cool. Then they find the ship and he's like, that's interesting. It's like,
yeah, it's
well, that's
just
technically archaeology. That's from 280 years ago, right?
yeah, yeah. He's like, nah,
Hmm.
it
We don't even
wasn't
use the flag anymore.
it wasn't in the dirt for like 600 years.
Nah, space archaeology is boring. I like planet archaeology. Seems the ship was destroyed by something in their present time, but we can risk a minimal away team of all senior staff. To be safe, let's just send three of the most valuable people on the ship. Totally agree with Will on this. I get why they have to do it as well, but it makes no practical sense.
No.
No, they should have sent Picard too. He could have been the actual foreign investor because he has an accent.
It's like a strange planet. Let's beam all everyone down.
We found this one pocket of air.
Let's beam the senior
Let's
staff right to it.
everybody.
Let's
Who
have
can't we fly the ship without? Send them. When they land, I find it weird that they know what an antique revolving door is, but not city blocks. Yeah. Good catch that they should know what chips are since they play poker. Yeah, no
Yes.
kidding.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that scene to me, it felt like they were like, what? A
It's
key and chips? But it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I get maybe they were trying to write to the fact that like they're just confused that this guy is handing them stuff and it's like,
Yeah.
why are you giving us this stuff? But like it doesn't their faces don't match with that thinking. They're
Yeah, because they're
literally like,
specifically like, "Oh, what? What?
right, right.
And so you're also telling me that nowhere on Earth or on the
No,
ship or
no,
in all of human history
no,
currently they
no,
use keys for
no. You
anything.
know what? You know why? No keys. No keys. You just go in your hotel room. Why? Right? Crime is gone. Nobody breaks in
That's
and
true.
does anything.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right. Safe.
Yeah, you don't need to lock a safe. Nobody's gonna
Nope.
steal stuff.
That's right.
You don't even have anything to steal. There's no money.
That's right. I mean, really, other than like clothes and maybe like personal effects, like what really would you have in your hotel room in the future? Like if you were staying at some resort, it's like, oh, well, they have this thing. It's like the room provides that kind of thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess keys. I guess the very concept. the very concept of keys is very like not trusting and
Yeah,
criminal activity. So
yeah, totally.
okay, you swayed me.
Swayed you. Good.
Good.
Next.
But chips still poke. We still play poker with
Oh,
chips.
yeah.
It's like a monetary value, even though there's no monetary value in
Yeah.
the future. Welcome to the Hotel Royale, gentlemen. The tricorder shows no life signs from those around them. If you look closely, the tricorder will also show no life signs for this episode either.
Wow. Wow. I can sen I
These
can
are
like
these are
Troy, I can
props.
sense that that he doesn't like this episode.
Yeah. Wow. I like it, okay? Troy can sense that the away team is still alive, so that's good. But it proves she can empathically
Yeah.
feel others even from space. She should have been able to sense the children then during the old age disease episode. Ever in the way is that darn plot shield. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't make, I've said it 1,000 times, if you don't make the entire crew able to do miraculous things constantly, you don't have to write around it. So there you go.
Yeah, every time something like this happens, I literally harken back to your thing where it's like this is what happens when you put the Avengers on a starship bridge, and then it's like here comes a problem. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, these 3 or 4 characters could solve it in 2 minutes.
Yeah, right. You know, when you have people coming aboard the ship, and Deanna would just be like, "Hey, so they're not actually human. Their emotions are bad, and they
Yeah.
they cause to not be nice to us." Like,
Oh yeah,
okay,
I'm
do do do, yeah,
yeah, reading their minds, they're allosamorphs, they're shapeshifters. So we'll have to put force fields up on their rooms. Oh, okay. We shouldn't interact with them until we get to the planet. Oh, okay.
yeah. The one seems really, really hostile.
Right.
It's like, all right, don't transport him up here. Do do do. There you go.
Yeah,
Cowboy Data is silly to see, as was the whole walking around in a circle through the revolving door. This was all just a bit too cheesy and silly for me, but how about that strong wood paneling? Impervious to phasers. I hate wood paneling myself, so the idea of indestructible wood paneling is terrible. Yeah, I'm not a big wood panel fan myself.
Not a big don't like wainscoting?
No, don't like wainscoting. God. He says, business. I knew an older gentleman who used to say this all the time. It was always hilarious. Let's get down to business. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I never thought about him coming from Virginia that business
Yeah.
probably was
Oh,
frequently said to him.
he knew all about business. I also like that Worf called the elevator a turbo lift. That got a chuckle. Normally, the thought of finding human DNA in a hotel bed is pretty darn gross. Oh, wait, that's still true. There's a dead person. The dead person has been in the bed for some 280 years. 2033, 2079 AD. 52 stars on flag, which was interesting.
Yeah,
That means that nation states still existed after first contact with the Vulcans in 2063.
yeah, sure.
I do wonder how long that continued. I don't remember there being any references to these kinds of national groups during Enterprise in the 2150s.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
it makes me think that, like, obviously, I think when they wrote this episode, they didn't know
Yeah.
when first contact was, like that's a date that they later give in Star Trek. But using what they have given us, it seems like first contact happens, and then I would say 16 to 17 years later, like nations dissolve and like humanity gets their act together. Because there is a line in Broken Bow where Archer or Trip talks about how long ago, like in the first 20 or 30 years, they got rid of like poverty and hunger and all these different things. So they were basically like, you should have let us go into space like 50 years earlier, basically, but you
Oh,
didn't, kind of a thing. So kind of seems like the
seems like it would have
27.
been like when Archer's dad was still like alive and doing stuff. Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, maybe his grandfather at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
How that stuff is. Just interesting.
Uh,
Just
yeah.
interesting Trek nerd stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it gets retconned all the time anyway, because
Oh,
every show
100%.
comes out and they're like, hey, remember when this bridge blew up in 2063? It was like, no.
Right. Well, the other reality is too, like in that stretch, also like the Kazinti fight Earth, but like they
Yeah.
don't refer to
Nobody
that in
talks about it.
anything except
Yeah.
for the animated series. So it's like,
Hmm. And Klingons and Borgs were also on Earth, but nobody
right,
talks about that.
right.
And
No.
I think I've said it before, but that's what's so funny to me about TNG is that like this is the show that leads into the Borg stuff, and I'm just like,
Mm.
how and when? Because these episodes are just so all over the place.
Yeah, I understand. I
It's like,
understand.
okay,
Just remember that when you saw the Borg on Enterprise, they had about, you
yeah,
know,
4 seasons of
they had
this. Yeah,
about 15 to 20 years of production value added to it. So that's all you got to remember.
yeah, oh, I know all about it. And two
Okay.
movies and
17 movies, 12.
Nemesis, and
Oh, yeah. Great.
can't wait, can't wait. And it's so good that they bring it back in for Picard, so it's got to be good. So
It's got to be great.
can't wait. One question: is this some sort of advanced simulation? Because it's weird that the three investors never showed up while the away team was there. If it was a simulation, maybe it accounted for the away team playing that role. If not, then why would things have continued? Would the program make three investors show up to play out all of the story? Doesn't add up to me. I could see Will's reasoning on this being the case that whatever the program or this thing is only labeled the three as the investors at that specific point.
That's like literally the only thing that makes sense is that,
Yeah.
like, it's a thing where they're like, oh, you're the foreign something, he calls them in the beginning part. And then later, he's like, oh, you're the foreign investors. It's like, okay, great. But like, why would that be the thing that they would project onto
I
the
don't know.
astronaut? Like, why would you trap him there? That's the whole point. Like, if he can't
Yeah.
leave, why is he trapped?
Well, it doesn't make sense anyway because it's so they built this universe for him to like live in based off this
Right,
book.
right,
But they also built in a way to escape the simulation. Like
right,
why would they put in an exit anyway?
right,
So they built in this way for them to leave, but when you leave you go outside of the hotel and
right.
there's nothing out there. So it's like why would they put an exit into the simulation thing? So that's
Yeah,
like my point is like so when the three investors leave the hotel, does the whole simulation just end? Does it just go away?
yeah.
Or could you
I don't
just
know.
go back in the hotel and it would start over from the beginning? And like why? Why is it still active? Why
Yeah,
is it there?
I
Why did they
agree.
set up an ending? You know? Like I get that it's based on the book, but like if the ending of the book legitimately lets you leave the hotel, like why?
Right, right.
Why?
This is just my personal take because this episode does not speak to this. I think that the aliens came across their shuttle, they interacted with them. It killed half of the crew just by interaction, which was an accident. They felt bad because they were trying to like study the people,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh wow, we killed literally everybody except for this one guy." And they were like, "Okay, let's put him in like a safe zone so he doesn't get infected, and we'll study him." Now that like there's no way he can live, there's no way he can get back home, like everybody's dead
Yeah.
except for him. We'll save his life, but we still want to study them as a people. So they transport him to their planet or a planet that they like to study things on because it's sterile or something, whatever. And then they're like, okay, well what do we do with this guy? And then they're like, well, there is this, you know, this textbook that talks about something. And it's like, I guess this is like a journal or this is like a way of life for these people. So this is what we'll design.
Yeah.
They design it, and then he lives there and they study him. And it was like a thing where it was like a rat in the maze kind of a thing. It's like, well, if he figures out the ending of the book and he leaves and he shows like greater intelligence, then like these people are worth like showing first contact to, like fully interacting with this civilization. But then he
Yeah.
dies. He just lives there. He dies. He's there for 38 years. And he dies, and I think they just left. And I think it's just like a leftover like experiment that they're not watching anymore. They're off doing their own thing in the galaxy, and this is just like a holdover from an alien experiment that the Enterprise comes across, and they just happen to figure out the experiment, and it just stays there on the planet. And like you said, maybe the hotel terminates after the experiment is completed, or it just becomes like a defunct building. But I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
like that's kind of how I personally interpreted the episode.
Yeah, I agree with that. It just
Yeah, it's a big guess.
it's just one of those things where it's like the story is cool and cool, 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 and then it like kind of breaks down to just like, oh, we need to wrap this up like every other episode.
Yes.
So they're gonna fulfill the role at the end of the book, and that's how they're gonna leave. And it's like, okay, great, but why? Why did that do that? Why did that work?
Right, yes.
You know?
Yep,
So, oh well.
it is. Oh well.
What are you gonna do about it? You know? It's a show from the
Cry.
80s. It continues. He says the solution to get the crew back to the ship was interesting. The Enterprise could cut through with phasers, giving them a 12-second shot to be transported on board. They would be cryogenically frozen almost immediately on the planet. Yikes. Yeah,
Yeah, that was the thing I
that
was
sounds fun.
like, that's a terrible
Yeah.
idea,
Yeah,
Pulaski.
don't do
Don't
that.
offer
Yeah.
that.
Have you seen Han Solo?
Yeah. Well, the thing that got me was not the fact that they'll be frozen. It was the fact that they were like, well, could you revive them? And she was like, maybe.
Probably. I mean, I don't know.
Right. I was like, okay, if you can't give me 100% assurance, I'm
I don't
not
know.
doing this.
Maybe if Beverly was here, but you're stuck with me. Oh, Riker, by the way, I used to date your dad. Picard and Troy decide to review the book to look for clues instead. But couldn't the computer offer a synopsis like AI does today? No. Plus, Data just read the whole novel, so why can't he put everything together? Yeah,
Hmm.
good. It's good.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
He
well,
doesn't say
Data read
anything.
it, but
That doesn't matter. He doesn't say anything about yeah, but you gotta be a human to understand how poorly written the book is. He doesn't even mention anything about Troy leaving, being like, well, I don't care about the away team. I can't
no,
listen to this garbage.
no, he doesn't. It didn't bother him, didn't offend him.
Didn't bother him, no.
That's because that's because
Uh
she's very forgettable to him too.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't. Can't be bothered. Not even worth typing it. Mickey D has come to get the bellboy over Rita. Could this have been sneaky marketing from McDonald's? Probably not.
yeah, could you imagine?
Uh,
We want this like gangster to come in and shoot this guy in the back. Just make it a real subtle McDonald's like reference. And they're like, okay, we'll call him Mickey D. They're like, got it,
Mickey
thanks.
D in this
Four
episode,
thousand
and everyone
dollars.
was like, I could really go for like
I wish
Big
my
Mac.
I wish my McDonald's had a revolving door.
Wish I could get. That's good. How will they escape? They'll buy the place. The dice scene is super cheesy, in my opinion, but at least we have a happy ending with our foreign investors buying the hotel. The music was good in that scene, agreed.
Yeah. So he didn't
Data
like
rolling
that.
the dice is good, so your
I
opinion is whack.
I do have to sadly sit on the side of Caleb and say that Data rolling the dice was good. So
Yeah, it's that smug, it's good. It's fun.
it's the thing we talked about in the episode where it's like clearly Brett Spiner is acting inappropriately as Data. He is showing too much emotion and he's too much into it and he's too smug and blah blah blah. And I get it, and that's an actor's choice, and it's fine, and I don't fault Brent
Mhm.
Spiner for it at all. But what I personally, in my own headcanon, like to think is Data has seen all of these people around the tables, and that's how they behave. So he's
Yeah,
just he's mimicking that behavior.
he's learning human emotion and he's mimicking his surroundings. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Question for the week. If you had to be stuck in a Groundhog Day situation like the dead astronaut was, what would you want that day to be like?
So I think really honestly, I don't want to get too cheeseball here, but I think
Yeah.
really there were a couple days like on my honeymoon that were really fun, and I would easily repeat those days.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Because it was just like the thrill of it all. Like you're finally married, you're like,
Yeah.
you're off doing your own thing, and I don't know, it was fun. We had a good time. We ate like way too much Pizza Hut. It was like a Pizza Hut like half of a mile from our hotel. So
Oh my God. That's funny. Did
we
you go to the
ate.
buffet?
I'm sure we ate. I don't know. We ate a lot of food. I usually put on like 20 pounds in that
Nice.
like
Just
6.
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah. Well, this is what you got to look forward to, sweet cheeks. I'm gonna
Yeah,
eat pizza
exactly.
and get fat.
I've let myself go immediately.
Oh man. Finally stop all this dieting crap. That's funny. That's really funny.
Oh
I
man.
don't know. So like, my our wedding was great. It was outside.
Yeah.
We had a pig, like a full pig on a spit. We
Yeah.
had a cooler of beer,
Hmm.
and that would be pretty fun to do that day over and over and over and over.
Yeah,
Just
but I mean too, like stuff that maybe you wish was a little different, or you would have
yeah,
chances to like explore every avenue.
you could
Being
improve
like,
upon it, I guess. Yeah.
well, no, I just mean like if you were like, oh man, I wonder instead of doing this, if we did this, and then like you have the whole day to like change plans
Yeah.
essentially, and like have multiple different versions of your wedding. Yeah, I don't know, it'd be fun.
It would be kind of fun. That's the good answer.
That's the good answer.
Yeah.
The
The
bad
bad
answer.
answer. It would be like the first time I played like
Ooh.
Fallout 3 or like Uncharted 2,
Mm,
if I could go
yeah.
back to that
What would be
day.
my bad answer? I think my bad answer would be when my friend Andrew and I played Thief the Dark Project for the first time as like 14-year-olds. It was like it
Nice.
was a demo disc, and it like rocked our little brain worlds.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like, like when somebody's like, "Hey, I'm just playing this for the first time, never played it before." You're like, "Pff, lucky."
Yeah.
If I, everybody has those
Yeah.
moments where you're like, if I could like erase my entire memory of that experience and do it experience for the first time again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
We're not far from that technologically. If we're close to having like those Men in Black things.
True. It's called our iPhones. Stare at it long enough, you'll
It's
forget a
called
lot.
TikTok.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine that though. If you had like the thing from Men in Black and be like, I want to keep all my memories except for the memories of playing Fallout 3.
But that's the thing, like those, and I agree with you, but those things are like dials where you pick like months,
Yeah, I know.
days. So you would be like, and you would just forget everything that happened in the last like 15 years.
Oh man, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
Oh,
You're
that's
like,
good.
Will, I kind of know who you
Oh, retrack? Why would I be watching that
are.
crap?
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good. Two Akutas from Caleb. Wow. I'd also give this episode a two. Two Kazittis.
It's Kaplan's. It's Kaplan's. Off from my office. It's Kaplan's.
It's Kazintis. That's the icon. Is the
That's
Kazintis.
just the image holder. Because there's
Yeah.
no, if there was a picture of Ed, whatever his name is, something Edwin Kaplan, I would put him there, but he doesn't have a picture.
There's
So
a picture of me like at his desk.
yeah, like a drawing or something. Yeah.
A totally forgettable episode to me. A great job with the review. Glad you were able to still get it in despite the crazy schedule you guys had recently. Yeah, we make it work.
We always make
The popcorn award goes to Bed Skeleton.
it. So,
Wow, that's some good acting.
great acting. We can see how much he really enjoyed the
Yeah.
episode. So, for the popcorn award for the Royale, you got a suggestion of Bed Skeleton, Colonel Richie, and Ed Mark Starr said on Patreon, give the Cheddar Popcorn Award to Leo Garcia as the bellboy. Only a great
Bellboy.
actor can make that cheesy look natural.
Yeah, or a bad one. The popcorn award goes to Mickey D.
I
Nobody's
really
gonna
give.
take my Rita. All right, I'm gonna shoot the bellboy in the back. End of the story. Put you out. You'll be sleeping with the fishes. All right. Yeah.
I love that you're
Good.
gonna give it to him of all of the people.
No, I think in all honesty, I'll just give it to Brett Spiner. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be Brett Spiner.
Okay. I like it.
I've been playing this game all night, trying to seduce this lady.
And you
And
come in
now
here.
you're gonna come in here and you're gonna take all my money? You knew you was gonna roll that seven. I mean, you've only been rolling sevens for the past 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's pretty stupid. All right. Well, so now it's your favorite time of the week. What is popular this week? So, we have something from the next generation part of Reddit. This is from We Are NWs.
You got it.
It says Gates McFadden crucial in the making of Labyrinth.
There she is. Cheryl McFadden.
Director of
Choreography.
choreography and puppet movement.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It says, how did I not know that McFadden was responsible for the choreography and puppet movement in Labyrinth until the year 2025? Saw this originally in the theatrical release, and I've watched this 1,000 times and have the Blu-ray. Shout Studios just added the making of it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Thought you would enjoy that.
That's really funny that she did that. Yeah. Can't wait to have her back.
Yep.
Yep. She's a
She.
better doctor than a puppet worker.
Uh,
The next one is from the Strange New Worlds Reddit.
there
This is from Jen Dom Orc. Says season 3 titles have been revealed. Oh no.
they are,
All
baby.
right, so let's do this.
There we
10
are.
episodes.
Yep.
Takes 12 years to do 10 episodes. That's pretty
That's
good.
right. That's pretty good.
Between writer strike, actor strike, prop maker strike,
Yeah. Yes.
the
The burning of California.
California burning, yeah.
Yep.
Hollywood being dead. Yeah, it's cool.
Yep. Cool.
Episode 1, Homogeny, part 2. So that's gonna be the conclusion of
Of
the Gorn
yeah.
War,
Yep.
World War Gorn.
That's right.
Yeah, so that'll be wrapped up nicely in a nice little bow.
Yep.
Oh, we've defeated the Gorn and I saved my girlfriend and all the crew. Now we're gonna go do fun, cool stuff for the rest of the season.
That's right.
Episode 2 is Wedding Bell Blues.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's going to be that Nurse Chapel and what's his name? Colby? the doctor from what little girls are made of that she Chapel knows. She's like, oh, that's, she was like, I know who that is, and she wants to go down to the planet with Kirk. I think she's gonna get married to that guy, and then she's gonna leave him at the altar.
That's cool. I think it's gonna be Pike and Christine. Isn't her name Christine?
Yeah, whatever her name is. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, don't care. They're gonna be close and then not get married because he doesn't. No, not that this follows anything that we know, but
Yeah, yeah.
he's gonna go be with that deformed blonde on Kappa Zeta 3. So
And then we're gonna both be totally wrong, and it's just gonna be like they're invited to some wedding, and they have to, like it's just gonna be like the royal wedding of Glimglor and Flimbla.
Glimglorp and Glopglorp are getting married on Zeta Beta 3.
Right,
He's
exactly.
gonna be
Yeah.
the one with the phones.
Exactly.
Episode 3 is Shuttle to Kenfori.
This has the
Mm.
potential of being like maybe a fun Shuttle Pod 1 episode where
Yeah,
they're
that'd
in
be
the
fun.
shuttle the whole episode. That would be
Awkward.
might be fun actually. They might
That would be cool.
those sometimes those like what they call bottle show episodes um have the potential of being like very excellent. So we'll see.
Yeah, that could be fun. Episode 4 is a space adventure hour.
I'm assuming that's going to be the weird holodeck murder mystery thing.
Cool. That'd be fun. Episode 5 is Through the Lens of Time. That's the one with the phones.
Probably. Probably. Yeah.
I can't wait for like that to be just like some throwaway thing that like doesn't even.
Yeah. Yeah.
Episode 6 is the Sailot who ate its tail.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That could
that's
be that's a very Star Trekky title right there. That's like a
yep.
the boy who weeps the most he eats toast. Like,
He who
oh,
weeps the most becomes the
loses.
strongest. I don't remember what it was. I can't remember it. Um, yeah, so a Selah is the thing that dies in the animated series, Spock's.
Oh yes, box. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's clearly a Vulcan thing, but I don't know. Like, what's it called?
Hmm.
A Robios? A Robos? The snake eating its own
Oh,
tail.
the Orbos. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't know
It's
if it's
the yeah. What does that signify? It's like
it never ends, I think. It's almost like the
never ending
infinity.
cycle. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good.
So
Uh,
it might be a thing where like Spock is stuck in a time loop. Could be something like that.
yeah, that would be fun. Like a never ending loop. I'm all
Yeah.
about time loop stuff.
Like it's a Groundhog Day for Spock, basically. We'll
Yeah.
we'll see.
Episode 7 is what is Starfleet? Now that's a good question right there.
Yeah. I feel like that's gonna be one of those episodes like where remember Mbenga or the Klingon, like they leave it up in the air. Did Mbenga kill the Klingon or did the Klingon get himself
Yeah.
like kill himself by accident? Um I feel like it's gonna be like one of those episodes where they pose a moral question.
Yeah, I can see that. Episode 8 is 4.5 Vulcans.
That's the clip that they released clearly where Pike, La'an, and somebody else, Chapel, get Spock's DNA mixed into them or purposely mixed into them for some away mission, and they all turn into Vulcans.
Oh my God.
Did you see the clip? They released it.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
I
okay, yeah.
did. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be good.
That'll be a really good
That'll
episode.
be
I
really
can't
good.
wait. I can't
Yeah, I
wait.
can't wait for it. As long as Ortega's not in any of these, I'll be very happy.
She's in all of them. Okay, that's
Okay,
good.
good. Episode 9 is Terrarium.
I think that's gonna be
That's
the
gonna be the space guy
yeah,
is gonna
exactly.
be
Yeah. I think that's
keeping
gonna
all these
be
people on his little planet.
exactly. Yeah. That's gonna be the Q
I
slash
had him, father. I had him.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Q slash what's his name? Trelane. That's gonna be totally that
Trelane. It's
episode.
gonna be a Trelane episode. Yeah, no doubts about it.
I would what it would be really great if the Trelane episode was a space adventure hour or
Yeah,
through the lens of time, maybe. And Terrarium ends up being like a giant like they're trapped in like a zoo type thing and they're having to fight like gigantic monsters. Like that
that'd
would
be cool.
be really fun, but I don't think it's going to be. I think
Gigantic monster.
I had him, father, I had him.
I had him. Remember in Detective Pikachu when they're out in the woods and it turns out that they're all giant
Oh,
tortodons. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Pretty cool. That was like a terrarium. Episode 10 is New Life and New Civilizations.
Yes.
That's the one with the phones.
No. No.
This is Pike dies.
No.
Have they slated out how many more seasons they're doing in this? No.
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 So, March 18th of this year, they say last week it was announced that prior to the 10 episode season 3 launching on Paramount Plus sometime this year, production has actually already begun uh, on season 4. So season 4 is a thing and they are filming.
Nice. So they're already doing it. That's good.
So likely next year we'll get season 4. I don't know. I don't know if this was like we're not sure if we're coming back, so it's just gonna be like an ending. Um, the thing that I would genuinely like is if they introduce like a new species for them to deal with, like a new threat. New life and new civilizations.
Yeah.
It's like the introduction of a new species that it's not instead of like bringing back the Gorn and bringing back this thing and bringing back this thing. It's like nope, it's a new threat.
Mm.
Just like TOS introduced like Romulans and Klingons, and then like TNG introduced like Ferengi, and now later the Borg, and then like Deep
Yeah.
Space Nine introduces other creatures, and Voyager introduces, and then Enterprise introduced like Suliban and Zindi, right? Like bring new aliens to the table.
I would like, now this is going to surprise you in the audience, but I would like this show to do a mirror episode.
Hmm.
Now that would be exciting. Can you imagine Mirror Spock in this
Could
timeline?
could be
Ethan
fun.
Peck as Mirror Spock. Now that would be just my dreams completed right there.
Yeah. Well, you might get it through the lens of time. Could be that. You never know.
What if that's what
A lens
uh
is glass, and a glass is made of me.
what if that's the one where you were thinking that Spock's like in this time loop? What if he's in this loop with Mirror Spock
Ooh.
and they have to work together to figure out how to get back to their
He has to kill. He has
timelines.
to kill Mirror Spock, and Mirror Spock has to kill him, and that's the
Yeah,
loop.
the
It's
same
never.
time. That's how they. I would be down for that. That'd be awesome. Well, that's cool. It's cool that they announced these.
Yeah, I think
And
that
I'm
was
glad that
literally
their titles are not super spoilery, so that's good.
no. I think literally from our recording that was dropped like 16 hours ago, so pretty
Wow,
fresh. Pretty
that's cool.
fresh. Yeah.
It's like when you're watching Dragon Ball Z and the title of the episode is like Dende dies.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yes.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Just like episode 6, Spock dies.
Spock's death.
Yeah.
Spock's agonizing defeat. I'm like, oh,
Oh wow.
wow. Well, there you go. There is another episode of Hailing Frequencies Open Closed.
Wow.
We did it. So, as always, thanks everybody for all of your comments on our episodes. Thanks for engaging with us. We enjoy engaging with you as well. And even though most of the time you guys are wrong, it's fine. We enjoy it.
Yeah. Well,
We
really only
enjoy
one
that.
of them is wrong.
Yeah. Yep. It's fine that you didn't like Royale, the best episode of Next Generation. We
Wow.
still support you.
Well, there might be a rating of 3 Akutas here soon. You'll
It
just
might
have
be.
to wait. You'll just have
We'll
to
have
wait.
to wait. Yeah, I can't wait for a specific person to also hate that episode as well. That'll be good. That'll make me so happy. So until next week, we will talk to you guys then.
Hailing frequencies closed.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Delicious.